The audience quiets, sensing a shift. The cheerful morning show buzz cools into something sharper, more focused. Hoda Kotb glances at her cue cards, then looks up at Mark Wahlberg with a polite but serious smile. Hoda, you've talked a lot about growth and change. But Mark, you've also been very public about your faith lately. Some people say it's become a big part of your image. Mark blinks, still smiling, though his body tenses slightly. Mark. Well, yeah, faith's a huge part of my life. It keeps me grounded, keeps me grateful. I don't really think of it as part of my image. Hoda nods carefully. I understand. But some critics, you know how social media is, they've said you're using it almost like a way to rebrand yourself. A faint murmur rises from the audience. The camera slowly zooms in. Mark's smile tightens. He exhales through his nose, then leans forward. Mark. Steady, controlled. Rebrand myself? No, that's not what faith is about. I'm not trying to sell anything. I'm just trying to live right. Hoda. Of course, of course. I think people just... Mark interrupts, sharper now. People talk. They always have. I can't control that. Hoda glances toward the camera briefly, the kind of instinctive look hosts give when things get unpredictable on live TV. Hoda, smiling gently. You've always been honest, and I think that's why people connect with you. But when you talk about redemption, there's always that question. Do you ever feel like you're still trying to prove something? Mark's eyes narrow slightly. His voice drops lower, calmer. But the calm feels dangerous. Mark, no. I'm not proving anything. I've made peace with my past. Others can think what they want. He shifts in his chair. The tension is palpable now. Even the studio lights feel hotter. Camera operator, whispering to crew. We're live, right? Producer, OS into headset. Keep rolling. Don't cut. Hoda hesitates. She senses the heat but decides to keep her composure, leaning in slightly with that trademark calm smile. Hoda. Mark, I appreciate that honesty. It's just, you've been in headlines again lately about comments you made on set. Some said you were preaching between takes. Mark's jaw tightens. He laughs, but it's the kind of laugh that doesn't reach his eyes. Mark, chuckling, controlled. Oh, come on. You can't win. If you don't talk about your beliefs, people say you're hiding. If you do, they say you're forcing it. Which one is it, Hoda? The audience chuckles awkwardly. Hoda holds her smile, but her tone softens. Hoda, that's fair. I just wanted to give you a chance to respond. Mark sits back. Yeah. Well, I think I just did. The studio falls into a long, uncomfortable silence, the kind that feels alive. Hoda glances off camera. The control booth flashes the 30 seconds left sign, but neither of them notices. The atmosphere crackles. The polite interview energy has evaporated. Something real, raw, and unpredictable has replaced it. And then, bright lights. A cheerful Today Show set. Hoda Kotb smiles across the desk at Mark Wahlberg, who's promoting his new film, Second Chance. Hoda, Mark, welcome back. You've had such a long, incredible career. Actor, producer, family man. How do you keep it all together? Mark smiling, faith and discipline. I get up early, pray, work hard, and stay focused. Hoda, I heard you wake up at 2:30 a.m. Mark laughs. Yeah, that's true. It's quiet. I like starting my day before the world wakes up. They both laugh. The audience claps politely. Hoda, your new movie is about redemption. Second chances. That's something people often connect to you personally, right? Mark nods. Yeah, we've all made mistakes. It's about what you do next that matters. A short pause. Hoda glances at her notes. The smile on Mark's face fades just slightly. Hoda, slowly. Speaking of redemption, the air tightens. The mood shifts, just a little. Cut to black. The air is thick now. Cameras keep rolling. The audience senses something's off. Hoda Kotb leans forward, trying to steer things back. Hoda, let's talk about the film again. The message behind Second Chance, really. Mark Wahlberg, interrupting. No, Hoda, let's not just brush past that. You asked a question, a loaded one. Hoda blinks, caught off guard but still composed. Hoda, Mark, I didn't mean it that way. Mark, voice rising. But that's how it comes off every time. I come here to talk about the work, the story, and suddenly it's about my past, my faith, like I owe people an explanation. The audience murmurs, shifting in their seats. A camera operator glances toward the control booth. Producer, OS, quietly into headset. Stay on him. Don't cut. Hoda gives a small, careful smile, the one hosts use when things are slipping. Hoda, Mark. I think our viewers just want to understand. Mark stands up slightly, frustrated. Understand what? That I'm human? That I made mistakes decades ago? I've said my piece. I've moved on. The room goes still. Even the studio lights seem harsher now, shining off his tense expression. Hoda, softly. Mark, I appreciate your honesty. Maybe we should... Mark, cutting her off. No, it's fine. I'm just saying, let's talk about the movie, not my image. He sits back down abruptly. The silence that follows feels heavy, electric. The director signals go to commercial. But it's a few seconds too late. The camera catches Mark shaking his head, visibly irritated. Fade out. The interview is over. The cameras are off, but the tension still lingers. Mark Wahlberg paces the small green room, jaw tight, hands on his hips. His publicist hovers nearby, whispering urgently into a phone. Publicist. They're already clipping it for social media. We'll need to get ahead of it. Mark sighs deeply, rubbing the back of his neck. Mark. I didn't lose it. I just told the truth. People twist everything. The door opens gently. Hoda Kotb steps in, still in her studio outfit, but without the on-camera smile. She looks calm, professional, and maybe a little concerned. Hoda, Mark. I just wanted to say, I hope you're okay. That got a little intense out there. Mark glances up, surprised but guarded. Mark? Yeah. I know. I get tired of the same questions, you know? Like no one wants to talk about the work anymore. Hoda nods softly. I understand. It wasn't meant to corner you. Live TV has a way of making things feel sharper than they are. He exhales, finally sitting down. The anger seems to fade into exhaustion. Mark. I know. I didn't mean to make it a thing. I just care too much sometimes. Hoda smiles kindly. That's what people like about you. You care? A quiet beat. The tension breaks, replaced by something human and real. Outside the room, a production assistant walks by holding a tablet. On the screen, a headline already flashes. Mark Wahlberg erupts on the Today Show after heated exchange with Hoda Kotb. Hoda and Mark exchange a knowing look. No words, just a mix of frustration, irony, and fatigue. Hoda, half smiling. Welcome to Live Television. Mark chuckles softly. Mark. Yeah, guess I gave them their headline, huh? Hoda, you did, but maybe. It's not the worst one to have. They share a small laugh, genuine this time.